In a world filled with questions, where wisdom knows no boundaries, join us on a journey of enlightenment and endless learning. Eternal Teachings. TV. Discover the eternal.
Olympic Games in Geopolitical Controversies. The Paris 2024 Olympics are set to be a grand event, but they are not without their controversies. From the hijab ban to the geopolitical tensions involving Israel, Russia and Ukraine, the Games are deeply intertwined with global politics. Here's an analytical overview of these issues. Hijab Ban Controversy. France has a strict secularism policy known as laïcité, which aims to keep religion out of public spaces. This policy has led to a ban on wearing hijabs in public schools and government buildings. The French government extended this ban to French athletes participating in the Paris 2024 Olympics. This decision has sparked protests and criticism, especially from Muslim communities and human rights organizations. Proponents argue that the ban upholds France's secular values and ensures that athletes represent their country without religious symbols, promoting unity and equality. On the other hand, critics argue that the ban is discriminatory and marginalizes Muslim women. They also believe it infringes on the athletes' right to express their religious beliefs. Israel-Palestine Conflict. The Israel-Palestine conflict has been ongoing for decades, with both sides accusing each other of human rights violations. Pro-Palestinian activists have called for a ban on Israel's participation in the Olympics, citing alleged war crimes and human rights abuses. Supporters argue that Israel should be held accountable for its actions in Gaza and the West Bank, and that banning Israel could pressure it to change its policies. Critics, however, argue that sports should remain separate from politics, and that banning Israel would punish athletes who are not responsible for their government's actions. Russia-Ukraine conflict. Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022 has led to widespread condemnation and sanctions from the international community. The International Olympic Committee has banned Russian and Belarusian flags and anthems from the Paris 2024 Olympics. However, some athletes from these countries may still compete as neutrals. Supporters of the ban believe it holds Russia accountable for its actions in Ukraine and shows solidarity with Ukraine, condemning Russia's aggression. Critics, however, argue that the ban unfairly punishes athletes who are not involved in the conflict, and that allowing athletes to compete as neutrals undermines the effectiveness of the ban. Geopolitical Implications. The controversies surrounding the Paris 2024 Olympics reflect broader geopolitical tensions. The hijab ban highlights the clash between secularism and religious freedom. The Israel-Palestine conflict and the Russia-Ukraine war underscore the role of international politics in sports. These issues could affect the Games' atmosphere, with potential protests and boycotts. They also raise questions about the role of the Olympics in promoting peace and unity. Conclusion. The Paris 2024 Olympics are not just a sporting event. They are a reflection of global politics and power dynamics. The controversies surrounding the hijab ban, Israel and Russia-Ukraine highlight the complex interplay between sports and politics. As the world watches, the Games will serve as a stage for both athletic excellence and political expression. Paris Olympics 2024, a crucible of global politics and power play. The 2024 Paris Olympics, like many international sporting events before it, has found itself ensnared in a web of global politics and power struggles. From the ban on hijabs for French athletes, to the escalating tensions between Israel and Palestine, and the looming shadow of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the Games have become a microcosm of the complex geopolitical landscape of our time. This detailed analysis delves into the controversies surrounding the Paris Olympics, exploring how they are being shaped by broader political forces and the ongoing power game on the global stage. The hijab ban, a clash of values and political ideologies. The French government's decision to ban hijabs for French athletes participating in the Olympics has sparked a heated debate about religious freedom, secularism, and women's rights. The ban has been met with condemnation from human rights organizations and Muslim communities worldwide, who see it as a discriminatory policy that targets Muslim women and violates their right to religious expression. The French government, on the other hand, defends the ban as a necessary measure to uphold the country's strict secularism laws, which prohibit religious symbols in public spaces. They argue that the hijab is a symbol of religious affiliation that has no place in a secular sporting event like the Olympics. The hijab ban has become a flashpoint in the ongoing debate about the role of religion in public life. It has also highlighted the deep divisions within French society over issues of multiculturalism and integration. The controversy surrounding the hijab ban is likely to continue to simmer in the lead-up to the Paris Olympics, raising questions about the Games' ability to truly promote inclusivity and diversity. Israel-Palestine conflict, a shadow over the Games. The escalating tensions between Israel and Palestine have cast a long shadow over the Paris Olympics. The conflict has already led to calls for a boycott of the Games from pro-Palestinian groups, who accuse Israel of using the Olympics to sportswash its human rights abuses. The Israeli government, however, has rejected these calls for a boycott, arguing that the Olympics should not be politicized. They have also accused pro-Palestinian groups of trying to exploit the Games for their own political agenda. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a deeply complex and sensitive issue with no easy solutions. However, its presence at the Paris Olympics is a stark reminder of the ongoing humanitarian crisis in the region and the need for a just and lasting peace. The Games will likely be a platform for both sides to voice their concerns and grievances, but whether they will lead to any meaningful dialogue or progress remains to be seen. Russia-Ukraine war, a geopolitical chessboard. The ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine has added another layer of complexity to the geopolitical landscape surrounding the Paris Olympics. The International Olympic Committee, or IOC, has already banned Russian and Belarusian athletes from competing under their national flags, but the question of whether they should be allowed to participate at all remains a contentious issue. Some argue that allowing Russian and Belarusian athletes to compete would be tantamount to condoning the war and rewarding aggression. Others argue that it is unfair to punish individual athletes for the actions of their governments, and that the Olympics should be a platform for peace and unity. The IOC's decision on the participation of Russian and Belarusian athletes will likely be a major point of contention in the lead-up to the Paris Olympics. It will also be a test of the IOC's ability to navigate the complex geopolitical landscape and maintain the neutrality of the Games. The power game, geopolitics and the Olympics. The controversies surrounding the Paris Olympics are a reflection of the broader power game playing out on the global stage. The Games have become a battleground for competing political ideologies, national interests, and geopolitical agendas. The hijab ban, the Israel-Palestine conflict, and the Russia-Ukraine war are all issues that have been used by various actors to further their own political goals. The Olympics, with their global reach and symbolic power, provide a unique platform for these actors to amplify their messages and exert influence. The Paris Olympics are not just a sporting event. They are a microcosm of the complex and interconnected world we live in. They are a reminder that even in the realm of sports, politics, and power are never far away. The Paris Olympics 2024 are shaping up to be a defining moment in the history of the Games. The controversies surrounding the event have exposed the deep-seated tensions and divisions that exist within the international community. They have also highlighted the challenges of hosting a global sporting event in an increasingly polarized world. The Paris Olympics will be a test of the IOC's ability to maintain the neutrality of the Games and uphold the Olympic values of peace, unity and friendship. They will also be a test of the international community's ability to come together and celebrate the human spirit in the face of adversity. It is hoped that the Paris Olympics will ultimately be remembered as a triumph of the human spirit over adversity. But the challenges that lie ahead are significant, and the outcome remains uncertain.